and welcome to episode 23 of the Crochet Luna podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California, where it is just slightly cooler than the heating temperatures out in Vegas, where I just came back from a wonderful trip that I will talk about later in the podcast. So welcome to everyone who is a returning viewer, and thank you so much for all the new subscribers. I'm seeing my numbers go up and it just makes me so happy, and I hope that it makes me happy because I want to spread as much yarny love as I can, and so I figure the more people watch, the more yarny love I get to spread. So thank you for tuning in, and let's get started. I have lots to talk about. And I will start, as always, with a life update. Let's see. Health-wise, I'm good. I've been trying to rest more and sleep more, and it's helped me a lot. I did have a couple little flare-ups, but nothing crazy. It's all been manageable, so I'm really happy about that. It's amazing what good sleep can do for you in the body. So I'm very grateful that I was able to get some good rest this past couple of weeks. Let's see. Another life update is that I will possibly be moving. We've talked about with my husband Brandon that we might put up our house up for sale and move. Still staying in the same town of Escondido. Still, we're not uprooting our children from their lives. I have all of my good friends here, so I'm not looking to move towns, but I am looking to find a, let's just say, a more suitable situation to our lifestyle. We have a nice house, but, you know, it's got a yard, and we are just not yard people. We're not gardening type. We're not people to be outside. So having a huge, massive backyard and that kind of thing is just not really our thing. Also, with the record temperatures that we were subjected to this summer, our AC situation was not the best. And rather than spend all the money to install central air and heating in this house. The house is an older house, so it needs a lot of work, and I just think that we're just not at the place where we want to do that kind of work, and I just would rather maybe move to a newer construction. So we're tossing up lots of ideas, but it looks like the house will go up on the market, and that means packing, and I loathe moving and packing, but it might be just what I need. The word for this year was organization, and I've done some of it, not nearly enough what I wanted to do. I just feel like I'm just accumulating a lot of stuff, and I want to downsize. I want to get rid of all. I mean, I did a really good job with the kids' rooms this summer and trying to get rid of all the extra stuff that they have, but it's still too much. We don't need all the stuff that we have, so I want to donate, recycle, gift, and then there's stuff that just needs to be thrown away. So not looking forward to that, but I think it's a necessary thing to do, so I will embrace it. The other thing I wanted to tell you is that sadly, the artist that I spoke about in my last podcast, Salvadorian artist Fernando Llort, has passed away. He passed away August 11th, and I guess he was surrounded by family, and it's a huge loss. I'm sure the country is going to do lots of events to commemorate him. He was an important part of the culture of El Salvador, and his art is absolutely beautiful. I have a project in mind for some time later in the year, towards the last half of the year, to commemorate his work, and so I And we'll tell you a little bit about that later when that comes together. So really sad that I just had been speaking about him, and that I know I saw the news that he had passed away, but rest in peace, Fernando Llort. I sent blessings and love to his family at this time. All right, so then also lots of things have happened. I visited a gallery that happens to be at the same place where my kids go to do get some academic help, some tutoring, and there is a free gallery there in the same building, and I decided to check it out, and boy was I blown away. The space is unique because it's an open gallery. It's basically the walls surrounding different office spaces that feature the artist's work. And her name is Pamela Underwood. She is a local artist here in San Diego. She's out of Poway, and she does a lot of work with journaling and a lot of I guess what I think she started this thing of body painting, where you paint yourself and then you lay out on a piece of canvas and then you further enhance that painting. I think it's a workshop that goes through several days, and so it's a whole mind-body exploration of creativity and the body as a creative tool, which I thought was fascinating. And I'll show you, I grabbed a couple postcards. I love this one here. This is one of her pieces. This is called Maiden of Fire, and it's acrylic on canvas. Her name is Pamela Underwood, and it's called body writing. That's what it's called. This is some of the things you see. The person here has paint on them, and then they're further enhancing the painting. There is a video on her website. I will link to her website, and I will link to the video that shows the process of this body painting. As you can see, the person here is laying down on a piece of canvas, and she's got her body painted. And yeah, she does these workshops that I think are fantastic. Here is another one. This, I think she traveled to Spain. I'm not sure, but here's another one of her pieces. And it's a retrospective that's going on right now at the Martha Pace Swift Gallery at Liberty Station in San Diego. So this is going through, I'm not sure the date. The exhibit runs through September 7th. So if you happen to be in the San Diego area and you happen to be at Liberty Station, which is a fantastic complex with shopping. It's got the yarn shop, the Apricot Supply yarn shop is there. And this gallery is there too. So if you want to look at some work, it's all for sale. And there are some really beautiful pieces. I guess she lost her home in a fire, and she went through a whole series of paintings that dealt with the memories of things that burned in that fire, and some of them were incorporated in some of her paintings, and it's a really, really wonderful exhibit. Moving on to this episode title, which is Summer of Romance Wrap Up, Traveling with Geniuses. You guys have blown me away with your Summer of Romance projects. I am just so thankful that you guys have participated in this cal. It was co-hosted with ChloeRebecca of Crochet Cakes. She ran the chatter thread. It was very lively. I am so grateful that you guys took the theme to heart and really explored it and really did some beautiful, amazing projects. We had 31 crafters participate, knitting and crochet. 31 crafters made 44 finished objects for this cal, because it included knitting and crocheting. I will do what I usually do at the end of my cows, and I will include a slideshow of everybody's pieces, because I think that everybody deserves to shine when you've put the effort in to finishing up, especially a garment, multiple garments, beautiful shawls, beautiful, I mean, it's just, I'm blown away. I will insert that here so that you can take a look at some of, well, take a look at all the finished objects for this cow. To go ahead and announce the winner of the Summer of Romance Cow 2018. I picked them from the FO thread that was hosted on my Ravelry group. I used a random number generator, and I am happy to announce that the winner is Dunia from Brooklyn, New York, and her Ravelry name is Jamgal. So Dunia, I will send you a message, and then you can send me your address, and I will get your prize to you. So what are you gonna get? You are, and I think I showed this already on my last podcast, but it's worth showing again. So Kalisha from the Quirky Monday podcast gifted a bag to the podcast that I will be including as a prize for Dunia, so she gets a beautiful bag. It comes with a lovely stitch marker. You will also get a skein of Casual Fashion Queens yarn. Look at this beautiful color. It's got all these gorgeous colors. This is the colorway Guru. So you'll get this. You will also get the box, one of the boxes that was brought over from El Salvador by my mother, inspired by the art of Fernando Llort. So this will be your box. It's all handmade. They put little leather straps with little tiny nails for the hinge. You will also get a little notions pouch. Hello. So that you can put your hooks in there. And I'm going to include a whole kit, a whole Summer of Romance kit. The stitch marker is missing, but it will be there when you get it. It's got the lip balm, the pin, and a couple of the project cards. So you will get a kit as well. And that is the prize for Dunia. I hope I'm saying your name right. Dunia, who is Jamgal on Ravelry. Now, my lovely friend Rosina, who is Zeens and Roger, and the person who made the beautiful Rapture pattern that you see back there, gifted me, well, gifted the podcast the choice of 3 patterns from her shop, which is amazing. It's so generous, Rosina. Thank you so much. Because of just the level of participation and the quality of projects and all the effort that you guys put into this cowl, I've decided to draw another name and gift them with Rosina's package of 3 patterns from her Ravelry shop. And the winner of that is Stasia, who is Glagolik on Ravelry. If you have not checked out the Ravelry FO thread for her, how many garments did you make? Let's see, I wrote it down. 4 garments that she made. You should go check them out. They are gorgeous. And you know what was so amazing about her entries is that she has pictures with the actors that play the characters that are her bad boys. Amazing. So Stasia, I will send you a message, and then I will let Rosina know that you are going to choose 3 patterns from her Ravelry store, and those will go to you. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you to everyone who participated. I already have an idea for next summer of romance. I've got to run it through Clarissa Beth. I think she'll like it, and I am so looking forward to that happening again next summer. So thank you so much for participating. Next up, I want to talk about cowl news. Now, I failed miserably at my own cowl because I did not finish anything for it, but that's okay. I am taking a cowl break, as I said last time, and I am going to be preparing for the sock along. That is a cowl that Fay from the Crochet Circle podcast is hosting, and I know she's reaching out to different podcasters so that we can participate in it, and I definitely want to participate. So I'm going to be focusing on that as my next cowl. I did enter 1, maybe 2 projects in the KCACY cowl, which I think is still going on. I wasn't able to get the date on it. I think it's still going on. So check out the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn Ravelry group, and then there's information there, and then you can enter your FO projects in that cowl. I'm sure there's going to be amazing prizes, so definitely do that. Let's see. Lacey from Hooked on Owls is running an 80s cowl. It is going to end on August 26th. It's anything knit, crochet, or sewn that is 80s theme. I will put her hashtag right here that you can use. I don't know that I'll have anything entered for that, but if I do, yeah, I'll enter it. I really need to wrap up some of the things that I'm working on. Number 1 on my list is my blurred line sweater. I've got to get that done. Got no finished objects for this podcast to show you, but I do have some works in progress, so we'll move to that. We'll move to works in progress. My first finished object is my Loft shawl that is a pattern by Fay of the Crochet Circle podcast, and Knit It, Hook It, Craft It. I started this as part of a challenge, the Loft Off, that I failed miserably at, and Stephanie, who is a tatter, finished hers like that and kicked everybody's booty. So I'm still making it. I did a complete change of colors because as I was working the colors of the original set of colors that I had chosen, I didn't like it. So I went back into my stash and found colors that I thought worked better, and I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. So this is what I have so far, and it's like this. And really, I mean, it just happened that I had this is a Cascade 220 in this color right here. This is, I don't know if the color's there, probably not. So I'm using this Cascade 220. I'm using this Plymouth yarn, I have the ball band somewhere, it's just not in front of me. This color, and then I have a John Arvin Knit by Numbers colors. So the 3 of these are my Loft, and I think these were way, way better than what I had before. So that is whip number 1. Oh, and I bought this hook last year, I think it was. And I don't remember the maker, but it's super cute. It was part of like a subscription, or it was like a box that you bought, and you got this really beautiful pumpkin spice latte candle, and you got the hook. So this is the hook that I'm using. I think it was Hook You. If it's not, I will try and research. If I can find the maker, I will list the maker. I think it was Hook You, but I'm not sure. I will do my research, but it's not pretty. So it's got a little pumpkin spice latte. So that's what I am using for my Loft shawl. I can say it. Loft. And you know what I love about it is that this is the DK version of it. I'm loving working with DK weight yarns right now. So this, if you want a beautiful shawl with, you know, for some DK weight yarn, this is an awesome pattern. Next up is a pattern that I started and also went through a color change because I showed my mother the colors, and she's like, that is hideous. And I'm like, no, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. It's so fall-like. And then I showed it to my husband. He's like, nope. So every person I showed the color combination to told me very strongly that they did not like it. So I had to kind of step back and say, do I really like it? And so I put those aside for another project, and I did come up with a nicer combination. Oh, because I also took it to my mother's house where my cousins were, and I showed them that, and they all unanimously said that they did not like my color combination that I had chosen. And they did give me some ideas that I played around with, and so I'm much happier. I'm much happier with what I have than I think, because even I was kind of like second guessing it, and it was because I didn't want to go buy any more yarn, and I was trying to work from stash. But in the end, I'm a big tangle mess right now. In the end, it's just gonna look so much better. So the top is the the Skysail top, which is this really pretty 3-color top by Elena Fedotova. This is her name. This is a paid pattern, well worth the money. Well worth the money. Excellent pattern, written with, it's got schematics, it's got graphs, it's got charts, it's got, I mean, it's one of the most comprehensive patterns and one of the best written patterns that I've come across for something like this. So this is what I have so far. I started with this teal color that is a Stylecraft DK. So that's this. And then you can see my 2 changes right here. So you've got this light gray and then a dark gray. So when this top is done, half of it is going to be light gray and half of it is going to be dark gray, like so. And my stitch marker here is one of the Granny Square stitch markers that Melody from Melody Crochet gifted to me. I am loving working on this top. The construction is very unique. The way it's put together is very creative. I have nothing but good things to say about this top. And then my yarns that I'm using, like I said, it's Stylecraft DK. I believe I do have the ball band for that in here somewhere. Yeah. And the color is teal. So Stylecraft DK in the color teal. And then I went to Michael's and I picked up some Joy DK in this color that I'm using. I bought 3 balls of this. I don't know. Okay, the color name is Cloud for this gray. And then I found this, which I just have the ball band here and I don't know where it's at now. I think this is a baby, because the challenge for me is that, you know, when you go to the big box stores, you can't find DK weight yarn. You cannot find that. So I looked in the baby section and I found this color yarn. And give me a second because I do have another one here. Oh, here it is. It's the Snuggly Wuggly by Loops and Threads. This is the Michael brand. So that is this one right here, and I picked it because of this. See, it's a number 3. So that has worked perfectly with the Sailcraft DK and the Joy DK, which is also Loops and Thread. So this is my combination that I have going, and I really like it. I really like it. I want this finished. If I finish this, this will be the 3rd top that I finish this summer, which is pretty incredible. So that is whip number 2. My last work in progress is my blurred line sweater. This is a pattern by Deanne Ramsey of Addydae Designs. It looks like this. It's fabulous. It is one of the projects that I took to Las Vegas with me, and I have managed so very little of this, but I did manage to finish the cuff. So that's done. And then I can start going round and around on the body. But yeah, the funny part is I decided I wasn't going to take a million projects. I just took this and Loft. I didn't even touch Loft, and I worked on getting this ribbing done, but it was just crazy. It was like I could not get it right. I either kept getting too many stitches or too few stitches. So it is done though. The ribbing is done and I am thrilled about it. The yarn that I'm using is from my favorite yarn dyer, who is Heidi at Wolfie Wool. This is her card. She dyed up 2 custom colorways for me. This is Smoke and this is Negan's Revenge. So these 2 are the colorways that will go in my blur. I've said this before. I am a huge fan of Heidi's dye jobs. She's so lovely to work with. I know she's going to have an update soon. I think there is stuff in her shop, so check it out. But there will be more beautiful stuff coming, and she is the person I will be collaborating when I do my tribute piece to Fernando Llort. She and I will collaborate on some colorways to make something beautiful. So that is my 3rd whip, and I've got to get blurred lines done, you guys. It's got to come with me to the UK. So something really exciting happened in July. I had a viewer of the podcast, Juanita, hi Juanita, reach out and she told me that she was going to be in the San Diego area, and I asked her if she wanted to meet up for some coffee and crochet, and she accepted. So we met up at a Barnes & Noble in San Diego, and we had a lovely, lovely time. And what was amazing is that she made me something and she gifted me something. So I wanted to share that with you guys, because our community is made up of so many talented people, and I am constantly blown away by your talents. So one of the beautiful things that she gave me was this card. It said gracias, and in it is a beautiful note that, like I was telling her, I keep all the notes and all the cards that I'm ever given. I have a book that I put them in. Sometimes I hang them up on my little wall here, on my little door. But yeah, it's so pretty. And she made me this adorable little bag. Now, I'd been admiring these bags because she posted some of them in the, if you go to Bagorama, which is another thread on my Ravelry group that's about bags, she had posted some of these cute little bags, and I asked her about it, and she says that they're made with fat quarters, and I believe the link to the video on how to make these bags is in the Bagorama thread. But look at how cute this is. It's got a little flap, little pocket, and it's beautifully lined. And she gifted me these cute little, like little, they're not stickers, but you can stick them on things. And then what was so lovely is that she gave me these beautiful, beautiful yarns that she used in her Hotel of Bees shawl. And I was telling her that for some reason, I'm slightly over the hot pink, and now I'm really gravitating to yellow. I am in love with yellow, and this yellow is absolutely beautiful. So these two together are just gorgeous, and they happen to be from Catherine of Crafternoon Treats. It's this right here is the yarn that she's gifting me. And so I just want to say again, thank you so much, Juanita, for spending some time with me and for the lovely gifts that you brought. I really, really appreciate them. They're just so pretty. And so then after that, I got some happy mail from Z, the mail lady. Oh la la. Z is one of my favorite people that I am privileged enough to be friends with. She also is a fellow RA sufferer, so we commiserate a lot. But she is one of the most loving, good-hearted people that I have come across. And so she sent me a little package right before we left to Las Vegas. And in it were some really, really nice things. She knows I love Sugar Skulls, and she's a big Sugar Skull fan as well. And so she has, she knows an artist. I don't know if the artist is on her mail route or she knows of the artist through a different ways, but they work with paper, like paper mache and that type of stuff. And she sent me this gorgeous Catrina. Look at that. And her dress is actually made out of paper. So she's got this beautiful dress. Look at her face. Look at the details on her face. She's just gorgeous. And she's got a little lace top right here. And like I said, everything, her whole dress is made out of lace. I mean, paper. Beautiful, beautiful. When I opened this up, I was screaming. I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I love stuff like that. She also sent me this really pretty chocolate covered skein of yarn by I think the company is Odin Wools. There's the company. And the colorway is called Naturel. It's DK weight, 100% superwash merino wool. I love it because like I said, I'm really, really, really into the DK weight right now, and I think this will make a beautiful hat. So I'm really happy to be working with this. She also sent me this cute little Lil Dollop, which is a Yarn Bee yarn. It's a little mini cake. Don't know what I'll do with that, but I'm happy to try it out. This is a worsted weight yarn, and she sent me. Oh, I don't have it. She sent me, oh, it's right in front of me. She sent me this reflective yarn, which I've been wanting to try because I was telling her I want to crochet like a bandana or a collar for one of my dogs. So when we walk, you know, when it gets dark, she'll have like a little reflective collar. So she sent me this Red Heart Reflective, which I've never worked with. And I've never even seen this in the store, so I'm really, really happy to have this and create something for both of my puppies. Next on my Yarnopolis segment, I want to talk about a book that I just purchased. I saw it on the Grocery Girls podcast, and it is the Our Maker Life book. If you haven't seen this book, which my dog ate part of, thank God it doesn't affect any other patterns. I bought this book and I was really excited to have it, and I've been reading a little bit because the way the book is structured, it has some stories of makers. It's got crochet and knit patterns. It's got some, what are they calling it? Let me see. Visual lifestyle, knit patterns, crochet patterns, and stories. That's the way that this is broken up into. Now this Our Maker Life movement was started by, I believe, 5 people, and it's a movement for makers by makers. So they come together and they really want to help makers promote themselves, and it's like a community movement that they had like a big get together in Chicago this summer, and it just seems to be growing and growing and growing. The 5 people that are on here that are considered the Our Maker movement team are Jewell, who is North Knits, Kelly, who is Knit Brooks, Alison, who is LA Reserve Design, Law Reserve Design, and Nathan, who is Loop and Threads. I will put a link to all of these makers on the show notes so that you can check them out. They all have, I believe they all have designs and patterns and things like that in stores so that you can check what they do. And if you want to be featured on their Instagram, if you tag with the hashtag Our Maker Life, they can go through that, and if something stands out, I'm sure they'll feature it on their Instagram account. So I especially really loved 2 patterns in the crochet section. One of them is from a favorite of mine, who's I've never done any of her patterns, but I've bought several of them. Sierra Fontaine. This is Sierra. I am loving this shawl that she's wearing here. It's huge. You can see it here. It's massive. This is called the Sawyer Scarf. She is Sierra Crochet Crafts on Instagram, I believe. Again, I will put that down. And what I like about Sierra is that she designs, and I think she really does keep the plus size body in mind, and her designs are very flattering. And I definitely want to make this scarf. I think it's gorgeous. And then the other one that I really liked, which I think it'd be, but I just don't know because of the weather here in San Diego that I would ever have use for something like this, but I just want to make it because I think it's really fantastic. And it's this WOC Cozy Cardigan by Molly Conrad. I really am loving this giant cardigan. It looks so cozy. It looks so comfy. I think it looks fabulous. Here's another picture of it. So this is Our Maker Life. I think it's a great book. It's very entertaining, good stories. It's just, I think it's a really good addition to my knit and crochet book collection. Okay, Traveling with Geniuses. That is the second part of this podcast, Vlogcast, where I want to tell you guys all about my Vegas meetup with 3 of the most fantastic people you could ever meet. I had the idea for the meetup a long time ago. I watch a lot of knitting podcasts, and I always hear them talking about these knitting retreats and these knitting get-togethers, and I thought, why can't we have something like that? And we happen to own a timeshare, my husband and I, that's on the Strip. It's a fantastic location. If you want a view, this is not the place to stay, because you open up your window and you'll be looking at walls. But that's okay, because usually when I go, I'm not staying in the room for a view. But it's a fantastic location because you can walk to Planet Hollywood, which is across the street, Bellagio, Aria, Cosmopolitan. I mean, you're like in the middle of everything, so it's a great location. So I reserved it and I put out the word, and Hannah right away responded that she was interested, and she arranged it so that she could spend time with her husband, and then we would pick her up, and then she could spend a couple of days with us. So again, taking my cue from the knitting retreats that I saw, I wanted to put together a little swag bag for everybody, because that's what these people do. When you go to a retreat, they give you a swag bag. So I wanted to give my peeps a little bit of swag. And I really enjoyed putting everything together. And so I wanted to share some of the things that how I put them together, in case you might want to do something like that. The first thing that I found was, I was thinking about making project bags and sewing them for the girls, but I saw this and I thought this was going to be a better thing to do. And I found these at Joann's for $6.99. They're totes. They're just canvas totes, very sturdy canvas totes with one pocket here. And then I found this paper, and it's called Fusible Cotton Fabric Sheets. They come 10 to a sheet, and you can print on them anything that you want on your inkjet printer, and then what you do is you just iron them on to your canvas. You can see here, this is an apron, this is a backpack, and this is a t-shirt. So easy. Just run it through the printer and then let it dry, and then just iron it on, and that's all you do. So that's this right here. It's by a company called June Taylor Ink, and they also have YouTube tutorials on how to use them. So that was the bag, and then I put other stuff in it. But one of the things that I really wanted to do is I wanted to do something special to commemorate our Vegas trip. So I reached out to one of my favorite dyers, who is Tara of Mitchell's Creations. And, you know, I have several favorite dyers, and they're all my favorite because they do amazing work, but their styles are very different, and I love them all. And Tara has really rich colors, really beautiful speckling, and just the way she puts colors together really sing to me. And so I told her I want something inspired by Vegas. To me, Vegas really shows itself well at night. It is a city that shines at night because of the beautiful billboards and the lights. I asked Tara if she would have time enough to dye something inspired by Vegas at night, and she chose this photograph. This here is the Bellagio fountains right here. So she chose this photograph, and she dyed this amazing yarn. It is absolutely gorgeous, absolutely dead on with the picture, with her inspiration. Look at these colors. It's called Vegas Nights. The name of the yarn is, the colorway is Vegas Nights. It's in her Grand Isle base, 75% superwash merino, nylon and stellina. It's 115 yards for 50 grams. So I told her I wanted everybody to get 50 grams, and that's what she did. This is her card, right? Well, I'll show you this card here. This is her card. But again, I will put the link to her shop so that you can go check it out. She said she kept the recipe. She has the recipe for this yarn. So if you would like a little bit of Vegas in your stash, then definitely let her know. And I might end up ordering some full-size skeins and doing something with it, because I love, and I said to her, of course it's got to be on sparkle because it's Vegas. Everything sparkles in Vegas. So this is Vegas Nights by Tara of Mitchell's Creations. So that was one thing I really wanted. I wanted to do something really special to commemorate our trip. And you know, souvenir yarn is now my favorite souvenir from wherever I go. And so I thought this was perfect. I wasn't the only one giving gifts either. I had lovely gifts given to me by Stephanie, who made us all these really nice face scrubbies. I think this is the 24/7 Cotton by Lion brand. I haven't used mine because I wanted to show it to you. Look how pretty that is. So she made us all little scrubbies, and she gifted me this oh so awesome llama bag that says nope, nope, yep, yep, and nope. So I thought that was really cute. It's got a little pom-pom in it right here attached to it, so I can put my crochet stuff, my notions and crochet hooks. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for that. Then Hannah totally hooked us up. She gave us awesome bags, glittery because we're in Vegas, and she gave us all a handful of minis. I love minis. They make me so happy, and these colors are to die for. Look at this. And you know what I think is so special about these minis? All of these yarns have been in her projects. So we have a little bit of Hannah projects here in our hand. Look at how beautiful that is. And then look at this one. Oh, I just love it. And that one. It just keeps getting better and better. I can't even tell you how happy these make me. Just looking at them just reminds me of such a happy time. And I'm on the hunt for a project to incorporate all of these minis. Hannah also made us some stitch markers. She made us, there's a pretty blue one I can show you. And then these other ones. And this really pretty pink one. Like a little, really pretty. So pretty. And then some hot pink nail polish. I love it. And then Zelda also gifted me with this, because I told her that I had never tried tulip hooks, so she very generously gave me this beautiful tulip hook. Yes, I can speak. That I'm dying to try. So from there we had, let me see. From there we had dinner. Where did we go to dinner? Was that Planet Hollywood? Yes. We went to the Planet Hollywood buffet, and then we crocheted, and then we crocheted some more, and then we took a dip in the pool, and then Tuesday we crocheted, went to have something to eat. But the highlight of the trip was that we got to meet some lovely people at Sin City Knits. This is the button that we were gifted, and I just want to say a huge thank you to Debbi, who is the owner of Sin City Knits, for rolling out the red carpet. She had a veggie tray for us. She had the tables ready. She just was so lovely. I have spoken about Sin City Knits on my previous podcast. It is my favorite yarn shop that I ever visit. When I go to Vegas, I always make a point of stopping in at Sin City Knits, and I've never had anything but the loveliest interactions with people there. Scott, who is there, is the most amazing knitter. He does a lot of the samples for the shop. He just is so freaking talented. It's unbelievable. And Wendy, who was there that day, was so nice. I mean, everybody. I can't. My heart was so full that night. I was so happy to be not only in the company of, you know, Zelda and Stephanie and Hannah, but that people took time out of their day to come meet us was really special. I had Francesca, who is La Princesa de Crochet. There was Nicole. There was Angel Eyes. Our time at Sin City Knits was really fantastic. It was really a lot of fun. Like I said, it's such a wonderful memory. I'm so beyond happy to have met and spent time with everybody who came out. I kept saying to myself, I'm so happy. Like, I would be sitting there and we would be sharing this incredible food because we had really good food. We went to Veganation, which is a vegan restaurant in downtown Las Vegas that I wanted the girls to try. I am vegan, so it's really nice to go to a vegan restaurant where you can just choose anything out of the menu knowing that it's vegan. And Hannah tried her first tamale ever. She'd never had a tamale. And I had really good food. And to be sitting there with, you know, Hannah and Stephanie and Zelda and just talking yarn and talking life and just, you know, we come from very different backgrounds, but the thing that joins us together is our hook and our yarn. And I feel like if I didn't love them before, I love them so much now. I do. I just, it was such a joyful time, and I needed that to recharge my batteries. I have so much going on in my life. This possible move, you know, kids starting school, the fall, that I really felt recharged, re-energized. I slept so well. It was unbelievable. I slept so well. I ate good food. I laughed so much, and it was a beautiful time, and I am definitely up to doing it next year. Hopefully more of you guys can join us and we can have an awesome time and crochet. And we did a lot of that. We sat around and crocheted and talked. We just crocheted and talked, and I was watching Hannah work on her Bellatrix shawl and her Fallen Ivy. And then, oh my God, Stephanie is a crochet machine. She started her Lucinda shawl. I was sitting next to her with a ball of yarn that she had. She started working it. I look over and she's like halfway done. I mean, she is like the fastest crocheter in the West. I could not. When we left Vegas, she was already halfway through that middle part of lace section in that Lucinda shawl, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But man, she is a really, really quick crocheter. And then Zelda made a really beautiful granny square top that she wore to Sin City Knits. And like I said, I just kept saying to myself, I'm so happy. And I'm so happy because I was in good company. And you know, you never know. Sometimes people surprise you in good ways, and sometimes people surprise you in not so good ways. And this was definitely a beautiful, pleasant surprise. And I'm so privileged that podcasting, YouTube, crochet has opened up my world and my life to meet wonderful people. And it restores my faith in people, really, because sometimes there's like not so very nice people out there that you deal with, and then you just, all you gotta do is spend an afternoon with Zelda, Hannah, and Stephanie, and you will be back on track. You'll be feeling good and loving life. So I want to thank you guys so much for coming out and spending time with me, and for taking the risk of meeting new people. And Sin City Knits, thank you so much for hosting us. To everyone who came out, I can't say enough beautiful things about you guys. It really filled my heart with a lot of joy and a lot of love. And what's funny is that when I posted that I was going to be going to Vegas, Heidi from Wolfie Wool contacted me and said, hey, when are you going to be there? And I said, well, I'll be there the 12th through the 15th. And she goes, I'm there through the 17th. She's like, we have to meet. So we could not have planned it any better. We could not have scheduled it any better. But Heidi, who made all of my yarn for my blur shawls last year, who's dyed my summer romance yarn for this year's cow happens to be in Vegas and shows up to Sin City, and she was just the best. She was so lovely, and I am so happy that and it looks like she's going to have a trunk show at Sin City Knits in January, which is amazing. And so I was so happy to meet her, and we will be collaborating on a nice project in the future. And I had also told Debbi, I said, Debbi, you know, Hannah and Stephanie are designers, and she's like, oh, have them come and talk to me. So I was like, Stephanie, Hannah, bring your samples, bring your patterns, blah, 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 blah. And it turned out so well because Hannah got some yarn from Debbi so she could design a pattern. And therefore, I had to go buy the yarn so that when she has the pattern out, I can crochet Hannah's pattern. One of the beautiful things that I received that night at Sin City Knits was made by Francesca of La Princesa de Crochet on YouTube. She made me this beautiful cross-stitch C with this lovely dainty crochet border, and she made me a stitch marker, and it's got a butterfly button in the corner. It's just the daintiest, just like her. She's like this really petite, fine lady. I felt like an elephant next to her. She's so sweet, and she's beautiful knitter and crocheter. But she made me this, and I'm blown away. It's just such delicate, fine work. But I'm going to probably put this in a frame and hang it here in my little craft corner. So, to the yarn. I saw this and I'm like, I must have it. It's a Madeline Tosh. Toasted Sugar is the colorway. Look at this beautiful yarn. I love it. It's peachy. It's speckled with this green. It's got a little bit of a brown speckling here. I bought two. And this other one has some yellow in it that you can see it. I bought two because I figure I want to do a nice shawl. And these are gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Then I went ahead and, because I want to prepare for the sock along in September, I found this Plymouth Yarn Diversity sock yarn. Look at that. It's got like this really interesting purples and browns and hot pink and green and white. So I bought two of those. And it's really soft, but yet like not splitty at all, and I love it. I think this is going to make a beautiful pair of crochet socks. Then I saw this. Now, I've always been intrigued by beading and crocheting together, and I've always wanted to do that, but I've always been intimidated about working with beads and crochet. This Katia Sunset yarn already has the beads in it. Is that not fantastic? The whole yarn is beaded for you already. And the color is this really beautiful sort of like pink. It's very thin. This is, I want to say it's cotton. Let me see. It is cotton. You can tell. 88% cotton and something. I don't know. But it's gorgeous. Now, Zuberball is a brand of yarn that I have always wanted to try. And I found a cotton Zuberball that was at an amazing discount. 10 bucks. There's Zuberball in this really pretty, I mean the ball has come apart because it was in my bag, but it's this really beautiful like greens and lighter color. I don't know if it's a gradient, I'm not sure, but I will tell you it's soft and It is 100% cotton. Yes. 420 meters. It's very thin. But I'm really happy that I bought that. And then they had the Cascade Avalon on sale, which is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic, and this gorgeous, it's blowing out, it's more like this green color. So I bought 4 hanks of this yarn to make a shawl. I want to make a nice, just monochrome, one color shawl. Oops, I got that. And then this is the yarn that was gifted to Hannah to create a crochet pattern. It is the Roll the Dice. And I chose this really beautiful blue. It's like a blue with grays and blacks. So I will be holding on to this one until Hannah designs the pattern, and then I will make my I will use this to crochet her pattern. So excited about it. Like I said, I could not have had a better time. I can't say it any other way. I cannot express to you guys how wonderful it is, how incredible it was to see Hannah's face light up when she said, Debbie gave me some yarn to design a pattern. And she's like, I don't even know what to do with myself. Or she very patiently sat there for over an hour as I was grabbing all the yarn. And she's like, okay, I think I've got it. I think I know what I want. And she very carefully picked out the yarn. We're so different, Hannah. I was like, I wanted this. Hannah was like, okay, I thought about it, and this is what I'm gonna get. But yeah, it was beautiful to see that she has this opportunity now to design. It was wonderful to see Heidi and her walk away knowing that she's got a trunk show at Sin City Knits and that she's going to be dyeing all these beautiful colors and be featured in that store, because the store is fantastic. I cannot say enough good things about it. Then Stephanie designed a pattern. Have you guys heard about this? She's such a little sneak. She's like, oh, I'm gonna do something for your crochet along, your summer romance, but I think I'm just gonna design something. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, oh, and I have the pattern, but you know, it's in, you know, it hasn't been tested. So I told her to give it to me. I would test it for her. I go to print this thing. But bam! Look at this pattern. Is that not polished? Beautiful picture. Look at the way she's done it. She's such a pro. But this is the Killmonger cowl. These are puff stitches. In person, it is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I have the pattern. I'm going to test it for her. I picked out yarn from Stash. I found this oink pigment. Like I said, I'm really into a yellow mode. I found this really pretty oink pigment yarn that I have had in my stash for a while. That's got this yellow and these blues and greens. And then I have, this is a Sweet Georgia that I bought a while ago. So I'm going to do something like this. This is going to be for my Killmonger shawl. And having seen the cowl, all of a sudden, I'm in the mode that I want to make some cowls. So I want to, I'll talk about that in my Pattern Palooza, because I have some Pattern Paloozas. So, but I did want to go back and tell you why I'm saying that the second part of the episode is called Traveling with Geniuses. It so happened that we would hit these little bumps, whatever they were. I can't even remember. I know one of them was me trying to figure out how to pay for parking in Vegas. At every single point when we would hit a little bump, one of the girls would figure it out. And I kept saying, it's like I'm traveling with geniuses. And so at one point, Zelda was trying to crochet. Zelda does not read patterns, but we are desperately trying to help her to overcome that, and so she can make all the things and read all the patterns. So she had a pattern that was given to her. It wasn't printed out, it was on her phone, and it went through Stephanie, and then it went through me, and I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And then Hannah's like, give me that. And she reads it, and she starts doing it, and she goes, oh, it's like this, and like this, like this. So Hannah figured it out. So like I said, I kept saying, I'm traveling with geniuses, because there's nothing that we ran into that we couldn't figure out between the four of us. And it was a lot of fun. Getting back to Stephanie's cowl, I so in love with the texture of her cowl. The puff stitches are so squishy. They really stand out, and they really give a lot of beautiful texture to the cowl that now I'm obsessed with making some cowls. So Pattern Palooza, this episode is nothing but cowls. I have some free patterns and some paid patterns, and I will start with the one that I'm definitely going to make, which is called the Gradual Cowl, and it is by A Crochet. This is a paid pattern. It looks like that. Again, it's got a lot of texture, which I love. This is the name. And the next one is one that is, they had something similar at Cincinnati Knits. It was like a triangle cowl, almost like a bandana with a triangle, and I really like that one. This is called the Casper Moon Cowl by the Firefly Hook. And it looks like this. See the triangle part of it? I really like that. Oops. I really like the way that looks. So this is the Casper Moon Cowl, and it is a paid pattern. The next one is really I'm excited about. It's called the Spring Bean Cowl by Rebecca Langford. Little Monkeys Crochet. It looks like that. I actually printed a nice big picture of it so that you could see it. I love the fringe on it. I'm really liking this fringe right here. So this is made all with mandala yarn. This is all, I don't know if it's 1 gig of mandala or how many it is, but yeah, it doesn't say. But it's between 580 and 590 yards of mandala yarn. You can see it in different colors here. Here's another one. So that is your Spring Bean Cowl by Little Monkey Crochet. The next one is really interesting. It's a cowl and fingerless glove set. It's called Leaves in the Wind Cowl and Fingerless Gloves by Kim Harvey Nash. I really like the way that looks. Again, I'm really looking for texture. I'm really looking for things that look different, that's just not like a single crochet or a double crochet stitch. I really like the way that looks. So that is Leaves in the Wind Cowl and Fingerless Gloves by Kim Harvey Nash. And this is a paid pattern. Next we've got a Tunisian crochet pattern. I gotta get back to Tunisian crochet. I love the way it looks. This is called the Strata Cowl by Esther Chandler, and it is gorgeous. And this is a free pattern. This pattern is free. You can go get it right now. I have a close-up, I have an enlarged photo of it. Look at how beautiful that looks. That's just gorgeous. I love the way that looks. The next pattern is the Winter Solstice Cowl by Julie Nielsen. This is also a free pattern. I love how this goes almost over the shoulder. It's a beautiful cowl. And this is a free pattern, so you can go get this right now. Then we've got Moss Stitch Cowl by Heidi Gustad, which I've got to make this, you guys. That's the cowl right there. Moss Stitch Cowl, and it's a free pattern. I printed a bigger picture so that you can see this. I love the combination of pink and gray, and look at how beautiful that looks. Is that not gorgeous? I love it. It's just, this is a simple cowl, but I think that the moss stitch gives it a little bit of texture, a little bit of something else, and I love that it's 2 colors. So that is a free pattern. Then one of my favorite designers, Addydae Designs, Deanne from Addydae Designs, has the 90 Degrees Cowl. This is a paid pattern, and the reason I'm going to make this is because it uses the same interlocking crochet technique as the Rapture Shawl edging, and I've been wanting to try it. Look at how gorgeous that looks. This is the 90 Degrees Cowl by Addydae Designs. Deanne Ramsey is the designer. It is beautiful. So there's, and that, like I said, is a paid pattern. 2 more to go. I mean, I went cowl crazy. I saw so many good ones, and I'm like, I've got to share all. And this is like not even half of the stuff that I was like wanting to print out, but I have in mind, I want texture. I want it to be different stitches. I want it to be in interesting crochet, because cowls don't take as long. I want something really, really fantastic. So here's another free pattern. It's called Season of Gold Cowl by Anna Boo's House. This is a free pattern, and I printed out a bigger picture of it so you can, and it's yellow, you guys. Look at the beautiful yellow yarn that she uses for this. It's gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I love it, love it. And then the last free pattern that I have is called the Cottage Faded Linen Cowl. Now, this almost looks like a fade to me. I don't think that the stitches are all that complicated. It just uses chain, single crochet, slip stitch, and foundation double crochet. And there's a video instruction from the Moogly blog that you can use. But I think it's really, really pretty, the way that they faded those colors. And I think this might be a good option to use those minis. So there's your Cottage Faded Linen Cowl, a free pattern by Catherine Trinity of Trinity Stitches. And that is the last of Pattern Palooza. So I know I've probably left some stuff out, and I know I've probably forgotten to thank some people. So again, what I want to say is, if you came out to Sin City Knits and you hung out, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so, so much for that. If you brought me something and I didn't mention your name, I really apologize. I think I got everybody. I am really grateful for just all the love and the affection and the good vibes that I get from the crochet community, from the fiber community. I am forever grateful that I started this podcast and I get to meet so many wonderful people. And so I want to say to you guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast. I did leave off, I said in my previous podcast I was going to give you an update on the donation of the dodgy bag buttons. I will have to do that on the next podcast. My Etsy shop is still closed. I will be revamping it, and hopefully have it open before the end of August. I will put a post on Instagram about it. I have some exciting things coming to the shop. And so I want to say I am Crochet Luna on Instagram, on Facebook. My blog is Crochet Luna. My Ravelry group is Crochet Luna. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for subscribing. Crochet on. Much love to all of you, and I will see you next time. Bye.